television series, Heart to Heart.
What time is the screening?
7:30.
You know, I don't even know what Coppola's new picture's all about.
Oh, remember that book Max was reading last month? The Capricorn Caper?
Oh, international intrigue.
Guns, double agents, British accents.
Secret codes, intriguing plot twists.
That's right.
Anything good on television?
Darling, we have a special invitation.
Crazy.
Well, we could stay home.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
Not watch television.
Here together, and I'll bet the audience is thrilled that you are back together again doing something, you know?
No more than we are.
Do you hear from people, I mean, since Heart to Heart was canceled, have you heard from people saying, please do something together again?
Well, yes, we do.
I bet you do.
Yeah, and we've been looking for something to do together. We wanted to do Heart to Heart again, and we had a bit of resistance on that. And we, as a matter of fact, Stephanie wrote a wonderful script for us.
There's a lot of help from you.
Well, what happened? I mean, you have so many people out there that were so committed to that show and devastated when it was canceled. So why wouldn't the blue suits at the network say, of course, hurrah, let's go?
Well, you're talking to two people who were devastated when it was canceled.
I'll bet you were. And was it because of the way it happened? In terms of its cancellation, you had said you wanted it to go out with some sense of dignity, and I guess you didn't feel that it really did, that it was canceled just like that.
No, yeah, it did. They just at the last minute, they decided to cancel the show. It was the last show on the schedule that they were talking about, and a new regime had come into ABC, and they just decided that they wanted to do some of their own, have some slots for their own projects. But Steph was in France doing a film, and she was at the same time looking at some actors and casting some people, and we had a couple of directors, and I was ready to go to Europe and meet her, and we were ready to shoot, and they called up and they said, you're off the air. We couldn't believe it.
But they, you know, they literally did it. I got a call from RJ and Tom Mankiewicz, who created it.
Cheers, too. Yeah.
I was in deep trouble. At about 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday night, because the Monday before they were going to announce the fall lineup, they simply said, you're not on it. Which was absolutely a surprise, because everything was being... Nobody gave a hint that that was going to happen.
This might sound like a silly question. Did you get very attached to that little dog on that show?
Oh, yeah.
Freeway?
Charlie is actually his name.
Charlie's his name? Where is Charlie? Do you know?
We don't know. I think maybe Charlie has gone to dog heaven.
You think so?
Because when we cast him, he was he 6, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, because he must have been about 12 when we finished, wasn't he?
A wonderful little dog.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, we
It was
loved
so much fun to watch him.
And he
of
loved
course,
us, you know. We would come, you know, like Stephanie would walk on the stage, and he'd be out of the cage and in her lap in 1 second. And finally, they had to say, will you keep the dog away from her, because we have to get her on the set. And she starts playing with the dog and all that.
That's nice. You are such an animal lover. Anyway, I mean, you've committed so much of your time to this. Right, both of you, actually. Yes. I mean, you have your own menagerie with your 3 kids, but you have the William Holden Wildlife Foundation. You started that after Bill's death, and it does good things over in Kenya.
It does some things worldwide as well now. We were established in the first place to carry out his desire to build a wildlife education center for the youth of Kenya, so that they could learn about this very precious natural resource which they've taken for granted all their years. As we take for granted our natural resources, we are now beginning to understand that shouldn't be done. But they have no access to information, and since they have control of the life and death issue with regard to these extraordinary species, which we consider to be so special, it's essential that they understand what their next leap is going to be. You see, we're dealing in the world today not just with our own dilemmas of the developed nations, but we're dealing with what we used to call the third world, what we now call the developing nations, which are literally leaving, in some cases, a dark ages and going into the Industrial Revolution with no period of renaissance. So they have no transitional period where they can actually collect any of this information. They're just being thrust into
we know what problems that causes in society.
They're educating so many people now.
Isn't that great?
You know, we've got actually now, we might we've been dealing with about 3,000 students per year at our center in Kenya. And also we've had some overseas students, groups, who have come on a sort of exchange program. They come to our seminars, which we conduct in August from 5 to 10 days. And they cross-culturalize with Africans from all over Africa who come for those seminars.
Oh,
That is
marvelous,
such
isn't
a
it?
wonderful thing to be committed to.
She's done such terrific work for that.
Well, the RJ was our
And
first
she-
donor.
This man, you're big fan. You know, you would think so.
I
Listen.
think
She
we
really
both
stepped
are.
out, and she really stepped out and took that over, and it's because of her it's gotten to where it is now. And believe me, that's
The squeaky wheel gets the oil, and when you're turning for something as good as this, it's so important that we take care of our world and our animals. You've domesticated a few, haven't you, in your backyard?
I have,
you even had a
yes.
horse
Well,
in your backyard, isn't that right?
I have a few horses in my backyard and a few horses on my ranch. I'm in the horse business, so
Oh, I didn't
we
know
have
that.
quite a few. Yeah.
Oh, I want to know, as a father, how'd you do with new math?
You know something?
I had to ask that.
I couldn't even begin to do it when they were in the 8th grade. I didn't know what they were talking about.
And now Courtney is, what, almost
Courtney is now 16.
16, so now she's in the throes of all the others,
But
big stuff.
it's very hard. I mean, it just was very hard for me to do. They can figure it all out. It's terrific. I mean, you know.
People magazine said that you were a super dad. Oh, now, you know, I don't know whether you care about People magazine rating you, but other people have said that you are one superior father.
Well,
certainly
yeah,
is.
you know, I'll tell you about that. That's a very nice compliment, and I certainly try to be, but it's hard to do. You know, I'm kind of super dad sometimes, and then I'm not so super at other times, because sometimes I lose it. You know, I mean, we all do, but sometimes I get a little crazy, but it's worked out okay.
Yeah, but isn't it good
They
to
don't
let...
seem to have suffered very much.
It's great to let kids see that you're human, though. I mean, don't you really think, bottom line, they need to see that you're real?
Well,
and
they
you can
certainly
lose
have
it, too?
seen it with me.
I don't know, you have one of those
they're-
reputations
they're
being
great.
such a super guy.
They're great kids, you know.
Are they? And Kate is in the business, your
Yes,
oldest?
my daughter Katie is with Movie Time. And as a matter of fact, I woke up with her this morning. I flipped on the television set, and there she was.
You proud of her?
Yeah, she comes on at all different hours of the day, so I never know when she's going to be on. Yes, I am very proud of her. She's doing a wonderful job, and she enjoys doing what she's doing, and it's building her self-esteem and something she wanted to do. It's a totally different thing than looking in someone's eyes and acting. You know, this is looking into a piece of glass and commenting on the movies and people and things like that. So I give her a great deal of credit.
You didn't discourage her?
Oh, no.
No, good for you.
And my middle one, Natasha, she's been here in Boston. She was here at Emerson last year, and she's studying to be an actress, and she's pursuing the business, and I'm sure that Courtney will probably step out and give it a shot.
And do something with it, too.
Probably.
Do you have Boston memories? Because, I mean, obviously you've been here before. Is there anything that strikes you when you think of coming to Boston, other than this rotten weather that we're giving you for this whole week that you're here?
For me, it's always I always get a kick out of coming to New England, particularly Boston, because we don't have a lot of remnants of history in this country, and especially those of us who've grown up on the West. It's really an interesting thing and a very important thing for people who seem to be so disenfranchised because they live on this other part of the country, to come to the Eastern Seaboard and to see our cultural heritage.
So you've walked the Freedom Trail, or do you think you will?
I haven't had a chance.
Not in this
to.
weather, you won't.
I'd love to.
You'll blow away into the harbor if you do. How about you,
beautiful
RJ?
city.
Do you
Well, I've been in and out of Boston a lot, and I guess the fondest memories were a year ago when I was here with Natasha, and she was starting college.
Emerson.
That was nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I've
that
been in
in
and out
college.
of here with shows that have come up and seen shows before they've gone into New York and all of that.
Well, I'm sorry about the weather, but
Oh, you kidding? This is one of the great cities of the world. We
no,
love
it is, and you are doing such a wonderful play. Pete Gurney's words are beautiful, aren't they?
Wonderful piece of work.
It'd be interesting. Presumably it's reviewed with each different cast.
Yeah, and,
So-
they've all been good. The reviews have all been good. I must
It
admit,
must be
I think the
fascinating.
audience has been really waiting, many of them, for you to come to town. I mean, everybody knew that you were ultimately going to get here, so I would imagine you're playing to packed houses. I would think so, just to see you both work together. But aren't his words beautiful? Are you really enjoying?
Oh, we
It's hard to get through it, with that. We keep reminding ourselves it's the audience that's supposed to cry, not us. We're the ones on the stage. We're not supposed to be.
But you must cry. You have
Well,
to.
it's very touching. It's an extremely touching piece.
Someone said it was an actor and a producer and a director's dream. You know, basically a bare stage. For an actor, you're reading the world.